It is really the main goal of the institution to really instill to the students the necessary knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. So we emphasize these four characteristics because these are necessary in equipping them to find jobs, to find employment right after the graduation.
Hi, this is Geraline and welcome to Dubai Diaries podcast. Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of the Dubai Diaries podcast. Real stories, real struggles, and real success. Alam kong marami sa inyo ang nagtatanong tungkol sa pag-OJT abroad. Pero alam nyo guys, hindi madali ang mag-OJT. Maraming proseso, requirements, at syempre paghahanda. Pero, paano nga ba tayo inihahanda ng ating school para sa buhay-trabaho sa ibang bansa? Ano ang dapat mong pagdaanan bago ka makalipad at sulit ba talaga ang lahat ng training at sacrifices? In the second episode, pag-uusapan natin ang lahat ng yan kasama si Sir Jonas from Vineyard International School, Cagayan de Oro, Philippines, kung saan mismo po ako nag-aral. Hi sir, welcome po sa Dubai Diaries podcast.
Hello, Geraline. Hello, everyone. Good day. I am honored to be here in your show, and I hope I could be able to give something that could be able to impart to you the necessary processes in terms of on-the-job training.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Tsaka, kumusta po kayo, sir?
Actually, we're busy now, and the following week, next week, we will have our graduation for the school year 2024-2025. So then we have an event today. So we're busy actually preparing. So again, it's part of our job to really do our part as part of the institution because these things we do are also offer the benefits of our students.
Okay. But sir, before we talk about your role in the school, can you share a little bit about the school, like what it offers, how long it's been around, and what makes it different from the others, sir?
Okay. So before I'll introduce the institution, let me introduce first myself. So hello everyone again. I am Jonas Digamba. I'm currently the operations officer of Vineyard International Polytechnic College. So I've been here in the institution for almost 10 years because I started 2015 as a student assistant. I graduated 2019 and then I started working here 2019 up until now. So in working period, about 6 years now. So Vineyard International Polytechnic College is a non-stock and non-profit educational institution established with the main purpose of providing quality education and training to all students who intend to extend their overwhelming desires of equipping themselves for career futurity. It is really the main goal of the institution to really instill to the students the necessary knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. So we emphasize these four characteristics because these are necessary in equipping them to find jobs, to find employment right after the graduation. So the main focus of the institution, based on the programs that we are offering, is primarily in the business and hospitality. And now we are venturing in education because we have an additional program in the Bachelor of Technical Vocational Teacher Education major in food service management. So the core strength of the institution is in the business and hospitality because we believe that's where the students could go further in terms of their path, in terms of their future endeavors. As we all know, in the hospitality, they are the majority holders of, let's say, for example, employment. Because once you graduate in any programs in hospitality, there are a lot of opportunities waiting for you after you graduate. And in the business, because we all know hospitality is also a form of business.
Yeah.
So businesses, there are a lot of businesses here in the Philippines or abroad. So is an institution is also a form of business. So for those students who finished business education, the path for them, the opportunities they would get are really high.
Sir, how would you describe the school's track record when it comes to internships or helping students find jobs after graduation?
It is really important for an institution to really backtrack their graduates, their completers, for them to know where they are now. In terms of the track record, there are significant numbers students who are working now abroad, graduates who are now working abroad, and there are also significant graduates who are now in the top positions here in our city. Uh, though it is not everyone, meaning to say, not all of them are really backtrack, meaning nakuha talaga lahat ng data kung saan na sila ngayon, especially for those students nga way back 2010, 2011. But the current graduates we have contacts, and as what I've said, some of them are now working abroad. Some of them are now working in Dubai. Some of them are working in Australia. Some of them also are working in Canada, Japan, Korea, and some countries in Europe. So that's what the institution also makes a difference to other institution, because we prepare our students to be internationally competitive. Just like you, Geraline, yes, totally equipped, 'di ba? So when you were with us, 'di ba, uh you were taught to be competitive, not only here in the Philippines, but there are things that are being taught na kailangan ma-demonstrate nyo ng maayos for you to be able to compete abroad, not just.
So, laki talagang tulong being ikaw yung nag-handle ng mga, especially sa mga nag-OJT na mga students.
Yes, oo,
Pero sir,
tama.
ang alam ko, you've been handling this OJT programs for students for how many years na ba or bago pa, no?
When I started working na, 2019, yes. Then, in undergoing their on-the-job training and internship. So, parang fulfilling in my part also that I also uh, being part also on their journey working, or part of their journey sa kanilang OJT.
Sir, ano yung role ng school sa pag-aasikaso ng mga internships, lalo na yung nasa abroad, sir?
Okay. Ang role ng institution in terms of the students who are doing their on-the-job training abroad, I would say that the role of the institution is very significant and it's very important, because the institution is the one who will fulfill the necessary requirements of the establishment abroad. So whatever requirements needed by the company abroad to the institution, it is very important to note that the institution must be aware and be proactive in fulfilling those requirements, because once, as we all know, the culture of the companies abroad is different from the culture here in the Philippines. So if we have practices that we practice, let's say for example, hindi masyadong madali in fulfilling the requirements here in the Philippines, it would be different outside the country or companies abroad. So when we do negotiations, or when there would be conversations with the company abroad, we have to make sure that we are um, tinitake down talaga namin what are the necessary requirements and the processes in order for us to fulfill those requirements. And the role of the institution is very important, kasi once the institution is not active enough in assisting the students in complying the requirements, especially sa abroad, parang, let's say, low yung chances ng students to proceed in undergoing OJT abroad. So importante ang role ng institution.
Pagdating sa preparation and training sa mga OJT students, paano naman pinipili ng school ang students na, itong students na to pwede na tong mag-intern sa abroad?
We have a certain criteria when we talk about internship abroad. We have these processes. This performance-based selection would be based um, from the instructors, from the people who witnessed the students in terms of his or her growth on that specific field of specialization. If there would be students who are willing to go to abroad, let's say in Dubai, to have his or on-the-job training, we have to make sure that the students would perform, meaning to say they are ready. So we can only say this, that the students are ready based from the reports of their professors, from their instructors. So based on the recommendations, in short, recommendations of the instructors and professors, the ones handling the students. Once they have the approval that these students are eligible, can perform outside the country in doing or in undergoing their on-the-job training, then we are confident enough as an institution in general to send these students abroad. So, performance-based selection talaga, Geraline. And in terms also of the preparation of the students, we have to make sure that the students are really trained, meaning to say they acquire the necessary skills and knowledge. As we all know, industries now are really looking for individuals who can perform, who have skills, and who have the knowledge. And once the students acquire the necessary skills and knowledge, we believe that the students have high chances of being accepted.
I see. So alam kong importante din yung training certificates kasi na ano ko dito hinahanap talaga nila if ever you have na mga certificates. Kasi isa yun sa pagbabasihan ng company na dumaan ka sa training na yan. And it's also an evidence na nag-training ka talaga dyan. Specifically sa skills mo. So ito na yun, sir, yung if sure na si students, sure na din si school na fully equipped, ready na lahat. So paano nyo yung cultural difference kasi alam natin is iba.
Okay. Cultural differences. Kasi embedded na sa curriculum natin ngayon, we have this course, multicultural diversity, wherein the instructor who is handling the multicultural diversity in the workplace will impart to the students the necessary differences of the culture. Because, again, Filipinos are different from different nationalities. I also witnessed that to myself. The way they approach is different from how we approach. So, kailangan maging ready sila in terms of how they feel, the emotional aspect. Because we Filipinos are very emotional. So, alam natin yan. So, kapag sinisigawan tayo ng malala, talagang iiyak talaga yung tao. Those things might be how the approaches of other nationalities. So, we have to, as part of the institution as well, and the ones handling that kind of course, the multicultural diversity in the workplace, students are prepared to handle those things, especially on the approaches of different nationalities. And of course, there are also observations. They will get to observe different people and different behaviors, especially in the workplace or in the people, especially in the class. Kasi yung mga students are in the class parang closed door sila nasa classroom lang. So, even on that specific moment na nasa classroom lang sila, they have to practice to observe the behaviors and the attitudes of their classmates. That's one way of assessing the differences of each and every person in the class, in order for them also to understand how they could be able to approach other people outside, and further how they would approach different nationalities when they go to different countries for their on-the-job training. So, embedded na yun sa klase, especially in the hospitality. I witnessed because I do classroom observation. One of the courses is the multicultural diversity. So, embedded na yun. I observed that the instructor, that the professor is discussing different cultures and how they would approach them, the practices, practices and the beliefs of that specific ethnicity, or practices and beliefs of the specific country. So they get to study those things in order for the students to really know how to handle everyone, regardless
Very
of
important.
their nationalities and
It's
culture.
very important, sir, kasi nga, especially doon sa hospitality management na mga course, kasi you are dealing with customers or different people, o when it comes to kung mag-work siya ng restaurant, sa hotel, or even sa cruise ship, araw-araw kasi nag-engage ka ng customer mo every day. Kaya malaking bagay din sa school na i-ano din yan, i-discuss. Malaking bagay siya. So so far pa naman, sir, may na-experience na ba yung school, or ano yung biggest challenge na sa pag-send ng students for OJT abroad? Meron ba, sir? Na-experience? Mga biggest challenge sa pag-send ng OJT students.
At sa pag-send ng OJT. Okay, first talaga yung the biggest challenge of the student when they want to have their on-the-job training abroad is the finances. So as we all know, yung financial constraints, kasi hindi talaga yung gastos is malaki. So it will range from, if we base on the current spending of the students when they go to on-the-job training, especially on our partner agencies, it will range from 100,000 to 400,000. So if all in na lahat, sometimes it will run, or it will range from 200 to 500,000. So especially on, let's say for example, they want to go to the US to have their on-the-job training. So malaki talaga. So kailangan students are prepared in terms of the finances. They have to talk to their parents. Yes, tama. Oo. So yan yung biggest challenge. Kasi other things can be worked out if you have the finances. Meaning, you have the capacity to pay the necessary fees for your on-the-job training. Kasi requirements can be processed. Yung preparations, what you need is the enough time. But the money talaga, the issue talaga is the money. Yes, yung money. Kasi medyo may kamahalan talaga. Mahal talaga kapag you have to have your internship abroad. So yung first is finances. If not the finances, yung readiness ng students. Yes, you have the capacity to pay all the fees. However, when we assess the students, as what I've said, performance-based, there are certain areas that the student cannot perform. So in that case, we have to take into considerations to hold the processes of his or her application to go to abroad for his or her on-the-job training. So yun, it's either the financial constraints and the readiness of the students. Yan talaga yung challenges ng pag-send ng
Tama, sir, no? Tama, kasi yung number one talaga yung finances mo, financial mo, ano bang tawag doon? Anong tawag doon? Number one talaga yon. Tsaka yung number two is kung ready ba talaga yung students na sumabak sa... Kasi different kasi yung pagdating ng work ethics dito it's big different. So kailangan talaga prepared. Aside sa financially capable yung student, dapat din na ready talaga siya. So kung andito na yung students, sir, na nakapag OJT na sila dito sa abroad, na send na ng school, ano naman yung rule ng school habang nasa abroad ang mga interns?
One of the roles of the institution, especially to the on-the-job training coordinator. So, during the time na ako pa, one of my biggest responsibilities is to constantly check the students abroad. So one way of checking the students is through the company supervisor, the ones handling the on-the-job trainees. So kasi sila yung nagmo-monitor. So we cannot able to, there are times nga hindi namin ma-monitor yung mga students kasi busy sila. So busy sila on their work, and once during their free time, they cannot able to check their emails, check their messenger, check their messages. So we directly contact to the supervisor. So the supervisor is the ones reporting us how the students are doing, the performance of the students. So if there would be negative connotations or negative aspects on their performance, we want to make sure that these students are getting on board on the reminders, what are the things that they need to do and not to do in order for them to really execute well their on-the-job training. So, very important yung communication. In terms of monitoring, communication is the key, as well as the collaboration. Because conflict will arise if there are no collaborations between two parties. So, in this case, the school and the company. So, there should have collaboration because, again, before sending the students abroad, there are agreements already. So there are talks, discussions already between the two parties, the institution and the company. So we want to make sure that the communication and the collaboration are running or are working in order for us to really monitor the students well, and to check if they are really if they satisfy the necessary criteria, the necessary competencies during their on-the-job training. So if kung na-practice talaga ba nila yung naituro dito, or is there a different approach? Kasi yung tinuturo, because we have to be also aware that there are things that we taught here in our school, let's say here in the Philippines in general, na iba pagdating sa ibang bansa. So, iba yung tinuturo, the way they approach things. Of course, we have to consider that one. And that's why we have to connect with the company from time to time or regularly in order to verify and to validate on how they would be able, or how the students would be able to shift the approaches, because iba nga yung practices ng ibang bansa. So, yan. Para to avoid also, and to feel at ease also kami dito sa institution na okay yung mga students namin doon, na they are performing well, they are not in pain, and they feel also respected. Yan. So, importante talaga yan sa amin.
So you have these monitoring systems while the students are in...
Not really a mechanism, meaning to say a mechanism wherein the company would contact us and we can able also to contact the company. It is not a system, but constant communication talaga. So in any channel, in any communication channel. So yun. And at saka reporting. So mga achievements and accomplishments of the students. So we also get to ask also those things for us to also be monitored.
So ano yung mga madalas na concerns, sir, or problema ng mga intern na nag-abroad? At paano nyo to inahandle? Paano inahandle to ng school, yung mga concerns nila? Oh.
Okay. So it's either the students would report to us na iba yung bali the management of the company medyo hindi nila gusto. Siguro there are things, oo, Yun, siguro. The students, so, dalawa lang yung ways sa mga, let's say, challenges of the students and the challenges of the company kung saan sila nag-OJT. It's either the students, medyo challenging sa kanila yung management kasi nga medyo hindi nagko-coincide yung gusto or the outcomes of 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 their kung ano yung ginagawa nila doon. So ano yung dapat na ginagawa nila doon during their time sa OJT, or if not the students, the company or the supervisor of the company or the manager would tell us that there are certain behaviors, attitude of the students na hindi kaaya-aya. So, dun lang sa dalawa talaga yung may something problema. Kung may problema talaga. Because I also get reported some of the students na ganun. So when I go to that company, so I verified because siguro the colleagues or some of the people within the company are also verifying na iba talaga yung management. Parang hindi masyadong maganda yung management. So that's one way of verifying if kung tama ba talaga yung sympathy or yung observations ng mga students sa company. And if the manager would tell us that the students have bad behaviors in dealing with the customers, in dealing with the people in the company, we have also to verify that one to the colleagues, meaning to say yung kasama ng mga students in having their on the job training. So if other students, if other trainees would tell me na, "Oh sir, si ganyan, si Juan, parang iba talaga yung inaasta niya sa ibang empleyado or sa mga empleyado ng company." So that's one way of verifying also. So kasi especially abroad. So when we talk about OJTs abroad, different kasi when we have here in local, madali. Kasi you can also go to certain, you can also go directly
Like mo
to the
sila
company.
mabisita.
Pwede mo mabisita, tama Geraline. But internationally, yan, kailangan talaga constant communication talaga and collaboration, Geraline, in order to, to know what's really happening inside of the company and to know exactly how they are in doing.
Ako naman yung time kasi na yun, share ko lang din yung experience ko during OJT namin. Ang concern lang namin doon is, yung tama nga yung management. Tama naman yung madalas na concern kasi hindi kasi nila ititreat ka as OJT ka sa company. Ititreat ka nila as full-time employee. Hindi ka OJT. Yung isipin mo, ilalagay ano mo sa mind mo na hindi ka OJT diyan. Isa kang empleyado nila. Kaya yung gaano kabilis yung work nila, ganun din sa'yo. Kaya isa yun sa mga biggest challenge. So lahat ng training sa school, lahat ng pinagdaanan mo sa school, na experience mo, maa-apply mo talaga siya. Especially doon how you deal with different nationality. Iba-ibang tao yung kasalamuhan mo, iba-iba talaga. So, yun na yung paano ka mag-adjust. Isa din yung sa biggest challenge. Para sa akin na yun yung na-experience ko kasi dito yung adjustment. Tsaka yung communication din, mahirap din siya. Kasi hindi naman lahat marunong mag-English. Hindi lahat. Hindi siya lahat language barrier talaga. Tsaka first time mo na makisalamuhan ng iba-ibang tao, hindi mo agad makuha kung ano pala yung sinasabi niya, ano pala yung ano. Hindi siya kasi nga paras kayo, hindi mo din paano ba yun? Hindi mo din masabi yung gusto mong sabihin kasi nga iba yung pagsasalita din niya. Hindi niya makuha ano yung sinasabi niya, parang yun talaga yung isa din. So parang tatlo yung challenge pag mag-OJT ka sa isang sa international. Sa international. Lalo na dito sa Dubai kasi iba-iba talagang tao yung makakasalamuha mo dito. So sir, sa lahat ng mga nag-OJT, abroad man, especially sa abroad, may mga inspiring success story na ba na pwede niyong i-share tungkol sa isang student?
One uh, one graduate that I could share to you is kasi she was a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. I'm not sure if marketing or human resources. When she was a student, she used to work in a fast food chain. In a fast food chain. So, noted na talaga yung student na hardworking. So, very hardworking na student talaga. So during that time, yung nag-fulfill, the one that fulfills her career is through the experiences she got from her work. So yung work din yung nakapagtapos sa kanya ng pag-aaral. So hardworking na talaga yung student, very achiever and very intelligent. So when I've got to know na nasa Canada na siya ngayon, so yung experiences daw niya is very parang malala talaga kasi parang nag-focus talaga siya to herself on how to achieve her dreams, her biggest dream, whatever that dream is. Kung gusto niya makapag trabaho sa ibang bansa, if that her dream na nakuha talaga niya, meaning through her hard work. Yan talaga. Yung kasi I think there was one student nga kasamahan din niya na graduate, yung nagkwento sa akin na parang talagang different challenges yung na-encounter niya in going to the agency in Manila. So kasi through agency yung nagpadala sa kanya sa Canada. So iba daw yung mga challenges, yung parents niya, if I'm not mistaken, are worried on how she would be able to find out ways to really go to abroad, and knowing that she's now in Canada working in a fast food chain also. So if you think of it, um, she was already working in a fast food chain here in the Philippines, the biggest fast food chain here in the Philippines, and now through her hard work, 'di ba, and perseverance, she get to go to Canada. So there's a big jump, a big success on her end. Is really a testament to everyone, na to every student na kailangan talaga you have to keep in mind to have patience also, and to really push hard, and kailangan hardworking ka talaga, and kailangan mag-persevere ka talaga in order for you to achieve your
So
dreams in
dapat
life.
palang during sa OJT mo, dapat magsa-stand out ka na sa training.
Na talaga sa training. Yung kasi yung iba kasi they take the on-the-job training as only the final academic requirement of the institution. Kailangan ko itong matapos. If kung matatapos na ako, gagraduate na ako. So they are not serious about it as long as they are now in the industry, as long as they are working and they get to be able to finish the required number of hours of their on-the-job training, then okay na. That's yung mindset ng iba. But for those students who are really looking forward to the future, to their career, they would really use the necessary or the available resources they have, especially their time and the opportunity they get sa on-the-job training, for them to excel, for them to advance on their field of specialization. So kailangan may iba aaralin talaga lahat during OJT para malaman nila as early as OJT time, and by the time that they work na um in a real setup talaga na may in a working environment na talaga. So they are not they are easy na sa kanila yung mga yung trabaho.
So
Oo.
far naman sir, may mga sinishare naman yung mga students after OJT abroad. May mga importanteng life lesson ba sila natutunan while nag-OJT sila sa abroad? May na-share ba sila?
Meron din actually. Meron silang na-share. One of the things that they share, Geraline, is um it's common to them na especially in abroad, Geraldine, no? So this is really the reality na yung practices natin is really different to their practices. Meaning to say, if kung ganito yung pagkagawa natin dito sa Pilipinas, iba yun sa
Iba.
ibang,
Malaki ang difference talaga.
it becomes the challenges to them. Yung learning naman is ang perseverance na tinuturo namin, the values we teach to them. Yung patience, yung respect, yung tawag doon, yung ini-instill sa kanila yung hard work. Kasi yun yung weapon nila when they go to a country. Kasi very challenging yung in each country na kailangan sila magtrabaho doon, whether it is an OJT or a work na talaga, yun yung dala mo, yung perseverance mo, yung tapang na kailangan mo harapin talaga lahat ng challenges sa mafe-face mo on that specific country. Yan. So, yung values, I could say, the values na tinuturo natin sa mga students, yun yung panlaban sa lungkot, sa pagod, at saka sa mga challenges na hinaharap nila doon sa
Ano
ibang
yung
bansa.
mga top 3 advice mo lang na kung pwede mong i-share, lalo na sa gustong mag-intern sa abroad? Top, top 3.
First, top 3. Okay, tatlo. First is, I always say this to the students because I also experienced this one and I also realized this one as early as elementary, high school, up until college, we have the time, meaning marami tayong oras. So I always say this to the students to use the time efficiently and effectively. Once you are here in the institution, kapag nandito kayo sa paaralan, you have to use and utilize the time effectively and efficiently. Use it for learning, use it to develop your skills, use it to get advanced on where you are now. Meaning to say, if push your limits, if kung nandun na ka sa, you think you are on the top of everything, still push yourself to be more. Importante yung may urge ka and may urge ka to get more because that's where you can also check yourself or assess yourself if kung kaya mo pa ba gawin ang ibang bagay. So yun. So one is utilize your time effectively and efficiently when you are still studying. That's number one. Second, siguro yung second is to have faith. In everything that we do, we have to believe in ourselves. So, yung belief sa kaugalingon, in Bisaya, yung belief sa kaugalingon, you trust yourself, yun yung ikalawa. And one of the things that I could also impart to this number 2, nga in believing yourself, because sometimes we always think what others think of us. Parang if kung may masabi yung ibang tao, we get to discourage ourselves directly ba na ay ayoko na kasi ito yung sasabihin ng ibang tao, parang hindi ko kaya or baka ibubuli lang nila ako, if I get be able to talk to a lot of people, parang nawawala yung self-confidence. Kasi yung confidence talaga yung nagdadala in believing yourself. Kasi once you have the confidence, you could be able to do things freely. So you have to recognize the fact that confidence is the key also. And always believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the ones working on your destiny. You are the ones working on your path, not other people, not your parents, not your siblings. Uh, Parang the roles, the surrounding, uh, sila lang yung nag-a-advise sa iyo. But at the end of the day, the decision making is always comes from you. So galing talaga sa iyo. So always believe in yourself. So first is utilize your time effectively and efficiently. Second, believe in yourself. Number three is be humble. Because if you are humble enough, parang you can always go to people. You can always tell people whatever you want to say. You can always talk to them. And once you're humble, Geraline, you could be able to listen to their opinions, to their ideas. You're always considering, you have tolerance in everyone, to everyone. So always be humble because once other people would see that you are humble enough, parang they are also willing to listen. They are also willing to
assist you
give
or to help
to
you,
assist you, tama, oo, to help you, yun. Kasi it will radiate, Geraline, kasi once you're humble enough, it will radiate to kindness. So
Yeah.
if people would see that, people also be kind to you. So yun, so it will radiate a lot of things if you are humble enough. Yun, Geraline. So, first, oo, balikan ko.
Ganda.
First, utilize your time effectively and efficiently. Second, believe in yourself. And number three, lastly, is be humble. So, those things actually are the things that I would advise to the students who are planning to have their on-the-job training or internship abroad. Kasi yung mga skills, yung mga developmental activities, you can get that one inside the premises. Kasi venue for honing your skills, for honing your knowledge, yung institution. So yung values talaga, yung within yourself. Kailangan talaga.
Exactly, sir. So that's it. And sir, any message for the students who wants na mag-OJT abroad pero nga takot sila? Ano yung message mo doon, sir?
Okay. First and foremost, do not be afraid. For those who would like to pursue on-the-job training or internship abroad, if you have the financial means to do it, then do it. Okay, do not think twice because again, it will give you significant growth and advancement once you would be able to experience on-the-job training or internship abroad. There are no easy paths in doing things. So whether you choose to have your internship locally or abroad, there are no easy steps. Students will get to experience the hardships, the adversities along the way. But one thing that will keep us steadfast is our perseverance and our dedication to pursue our field, our course of study. And to the parents who are very supportive to their children in whatever endeavors they would be getting or they would get to experience, always guide them, always guide the students, monitor them, because that's the role of the parents. Kasi I hope that the students who are watching now, you'll be able to know and to identify the right path for you in the future. That's what I want to say to
Okay.
everyone.
Wow, sobrang daming natutunan namin ngayon, sir, ha? Sobrang dami. Especially doon sa proseso ng pag-OJT, kung paano tayo inahanda ng ating school, at ang mga challenges din na dapat nating paghandaan. And that's it for today's episode. Sana ay marami kayong napulot na insights mula sa ating special guest na si Sir Jonas. Kung ikaw ay isang student na nangangarap mag-OJT abroad pero may takot o doubts, tandaan mo lahat ng mga successful interns dati ay nagsimula rin sa pagiging takot. Pero dahil sa tamang paghahanda at mindset, nagtagumpay sila. Kaya kung gusto mong malaman kung paano ka nakakapaghanda para sa ganitong opportunity, huwag kang matakot magtanong at mag-research. At syempre, maraming salamat sa inyong panunood. Kung nagustuhan nyo ang episode na to, huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-subscribe, at i-share ito sa mga kaibigan mong nangangarap ding mag-OJT abroad. I'm Geraline, and this is Dubai Diaries Podcast. Real stories, real struggles, and real success. See you on the next episode.